Pep Guardiola, a manager who's won multiple awards all around the world as a manager and as a player, managing Barcelona, Manchester City and Bayern Munich. But today, we look, can he do it at Newcastle United? A 5-year stay for Pep Guardiola. Who will he bring in? Who will he kick out? And will he win any trophies? Let's go find out. Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope you're doing well today. If you're enjoying the content so far on the channel you have seen before, feel free to hit the subscribe button right now and give the video a thumbs up. There's going to be a new series called What If on the channel, where we try different managers, different players, a number of different things throughout FM22. But today we're starting off with Pep Guardiola. He's now the manager of Newcastle United. He has a 5-year period to turn the club around. Can he win them trophies? Can he bring in some star power? Who knows? I mean, you see the club he starts with straight away. In terms of players, we know what it's about Newcastle United right now, sort of thing. They are a relegation battling team, but they do have all of that money. So, first things first, we're going to go 1 year into the future and see what Pep's done. So we'll come back now, 1 year in the future, Newcastle's first league season done under Pep Guardiola. And we're first going to start by looking how they spent some of that money. 315 million spent. Oddly enough, Kieran Trippier actually went there. It wasn't in the database, it was actually there in real life. So within the game, he was on there for 25 million, which is quite interesting. We see some other players here. So start again, Atletico Madrid, sort of left back and a right back to Newcastle, oddly enough. Lodi comes in. I mean, how's his first season gone, like a Lodi? 21 million, 27 appearances, 3 assists. Not a bad average rating, but a good price for Lodi, 21 million. Not a bad little deal at all. Raul de Thomas came in, 22 million. New striker for Newcastle United. In terms of his contributions, 10 goals, 4 assists in 34 appearances. Not bad, 22 million, really. Newcastle have struggled to get goals in real life, so not a bad little acquisition for them. Go to the next one. Souza from Besiktas at age 33, bit of an older one coming in. 72k a week, and 33 years of age. Newcastle got too much money than sense. More money than sense. They paid 6.25 million for him. In his first season, he played 34 games, got 1 assist. He's played a lot of minutes for an older guy, hasn't he, really? At age 33, he's played a lot of minutes this season for Newcastle, but not a bad return. Trips, we mentioned Kieran Trippier, did make the move. Oddly enough, we mentioned prior, we didn't have this in the database prior, so he has actually made the move in the game all by himself, which is quite weird. But 92,000 a week he's currently on at Newcastle. 25 million move. He played all season by the looks of it with 2 player of the matches, no assists, no goals, so didn't really get involved himself very much. But for a defensive aspect, not bad at all. Arta from the formerly known, we'll say Zebra, but we know who they are really. Juventus. Arthur came in. How much to pay for him? 19.5 million is an absolute steal. Wait, how old is he at this point? 25. Really good stats about him as well. Absolute bargain. 13 appearances. We didn't play many games for him. 2 goals. Decent average rating for his first season. It's not bad business at all really for him so far. They're getting their money's worth so far. 70 million for Lewis Dunk. What my word. We said prior that more money than sense. They've got a lot of players in here, haven't they? More money than sense. 70 million for Lewis Dunk. I mean, he's a 30-year-old defender. Why are they paying that? 84k a week he's getting paid now. He made 15 appearances, 2 assists, 6.97 average rating overall. I mean, if you look actually a bit more in depth from here, 4 yellow cards, tackling ratio of 0.87 over 90 minutes, good pass completion ratio, committed a few fouls and stuff, but I mean, 84k a week for a 30-year-old defender. They've actually got more money than sense, Newcastle, on this save. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, next up, Dejani Danaknam from Getafe, 30 million centre-back. For a 30-year-old! You'd think they're players of the future. I mean, I suppose they need players right now that can come do the business. If they're a 30-year-old, 73k a week, £30 million move, 1 assist got this season. I mean, in terms of actual, let's go a bit more in depth, probably being a centre-back as well. What else have we done this season? Tackling ratio of 0.82, good passing averages. I mean, he ain't in a bad first season there, but fair play. They're buying players on that. 73k a week, though. On a 3-year deal. 4-year deal, I think it was, actually. Ridiculous. It reached the gate. 40 million. Oh, my. He's 32 and on 94k a week. They're going to be bankrupt in a week. They're going to be bankrupt in a week, aren't they? I mean, that's how he got on this season. Made 13 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, 7.31. It's not a bad return, really, is it? Decent passing averages of 94%, 98% in the cups. He's not done a bad season. A few fouls, but the average range is really, really good for a Risike. It's not bad at 32. I mean, that's completely changed the team around, doesn't it, really? We get into the next one. Agura Kakia. Kakia? I mean, you can tell me in the comments if I played that correctly. I probably got it wrong. 17.5 million for the keeper. But I mean, he's very good, isn't he? He's Turkish #1 at this point as well. That's some good business finally. 7.5 million for him. Nothing on top of that. He hasn't actually played yet. He only just joined them, so he'll be playing come next season. So we can get a better look at him next season. But looks very, very good. 115k a week. Money, more money than sense. Luis Binks from Bologna. Binks is a bit of a wonder kid last time. I don't know how he turns out this FM, but 1.7 million. They're fine planning for the future. You can see the theme here. Lots of midfielders and a lot of central defenders. We've got 2 central defenders here, 2 central midfielders. Binks comes in, and the last one, Zaniolo, man. 170k a week for Zaniolo. £62 million move. He hasn't played yet as well either, so this is going to be his first season as well. So interesting. They spent big in his first season, but in terms of how things actually happened for him, let's have a look. I mean, so the season before last, they finished 12th, and in the game, they finished 16th. Spent over 300 million. How have they finished 16th? Where did it all go wrong? I mean, they got knocked out the FA Cup by Southampton. Premier League wise, losing to Man United, understandable. Aston Villa, okay, maybe not so good. Tottenham, they had a good end of the season though. They beat Brentford, Wolves, Brighton, Norwich. All teams. They beat Man City. They beat Man City 1-0. Callum Wilson getting the late goal at 87th minute. I mean, that's how they've been lining up. Quite defensive, but I mean, it's worked against Man City. So it has worked in some games, and then I don't know what had been torrid like spell here in January. A lot of losses here: Chelsea, Watford, Arsenal, Southampton, Leicester, Man U. We have a bad spell there, and then the start of the season was awful as well. Watford, Palace, Everton, Southampton, losing all those, and to Burnley and Man City. Interesting. So, yeah, this is how they're looking. We've got the actual tactics stuff. This is how they're lined up at the moment. So Thomas is the main striker. Almiron's still playing at wide from right now. We sent Maximin, so 2 originals there. With Reece again, Arta and Salazar. So a whole brand new midfield for them. Lodi, Dunk. I mean, the whole back line. This is all completely new, isn't it? This whole bit here is new. Dubravka is in there. Obviously, they've brought a new keeper in now. So that's likely to change. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in a year's time. But first light development. Let's go another year forward now then. Into the year 2023 and see how Newcastle look. So we've come back previously. We're going to look at the transfers first. Make sure no more transfers happened in that first season after we left them. Nothing else has changed there, really. You can see some of that exits already. Joe Linton went to Lille. Dwight Gale to Bournemouth on the line for the season. A few exits. Let's go forward now then. Throughout the first year. A lot, 49 million. So they didn't spend as much the following year, really. Obviously, it goes across 2 windows, so 68 million there. So we'll go through both of them completely and see what they've been doing. So Alex Brenger from Bilbao, 40 million. So he was the big one this window. Wide player, which is nice to see. They're getting some different players in now. Played 34 times with 4 goals, 1 assist, 6.784. So not bad first season. I mean, he's 27, so it doesn't look like he's going to have great technicals here after like the first stretch and stuff. Passing isn't great and stuff. So in terms of how much he need to do this season for him, quite interesting to see how he gets on. But yeah, Brenger comes in. The rest of them there. I mean, Trincao on loan. Omar Richards for 5 million. Some interesting ones. Let's get to the next one then. From Uzbekistan, Arslan Omarov. Never heard of this one. Never heard of him. 22-year-old. Came with 1.4 million. Made 1 appearance. So, I mean, I don't know if they got short of money at this point. Drew Yearwood from New York, by the looks of it. Came in for 2.4 million. New York Red Bulls player. Another centre midfielder as well. But again, 23. So, they're looking at a few younger players. Trincao coming on loan as well. He seems to have joined them since this loan move as well. But looks at 27 million, so we'll get to that eventually. But in his first season, only 6 appearances, oddly enough. 2 goals, 1 assist, but a good average rating. So it seems like they're starting to invest in the future a little bit now after that first season. Josh Tobin from Chelsea on a free transfer. Never heard of this kid either. Not heard of this one. Hasn't played for him yet, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the future. We're keeping an eye on his development. Omar Richards, this one does ring a bell. He was at Bayern, then got sold to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, and has now came back for 5 million to Newcastle. It's interesting. The English player has come back to England now. In this case, left back for the future. Obviously, they do have Lodi right now. He's on 115k a week. He's 25 as well. So 2 expensive left backs in him and Lodi. So going forward, be interesting to see which one of these 2 boys ends up being the starter form and who ends up going, because you can't imagine they'll keep both around. I've looked through the exits as well. Fabian Schär went to Hertha Berlin along with Jamal Lewis for 4.4 million, so not bad there. The sales went to Aston Villa. Richie went to Burnley for 4.9 million. Kieran Klopp went to Stoke. Shane Longstaff to West Brom. Jeff Hendricks, Manquillo, Woodman, Fernandez. A load of players leaving out on loan as well here, so a lot of boys leaving now. So yeah, we'll go forward now then into the current transfer window, who they've just bringing in as well. So the main ones, Haidara from Leipzig, and Trincao has came in, as we mentioned prior. So we'll go look at Trincao properly. We can't see much of him, obviously, because we're not manager ourselves, but 27 million. He is one they're building for the future, you'd imagine. So Abdou Hidara comes in as well, another midfielder. So maybe the replacement for Idrissa Gueye long-term wise. 125,000 he's on. Be interesting how he gets on his first season. He's doing all right, actually, Leipzig to first. He's not had a bad career there. He's played a lot of matches there, so that'll be an interesting one. And the last one, Jay Henderson from St Mirren. Not heard of this boy. 21 years of age. Last season, got 1 assist for St Mirren. Played a lot of matches for us, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets involved within this Newcastle side come next season. But yeah, let's have a look how their season finished. So last season they were 16th. They're up to 8th this season. They've gone up to 8th, so that's definitely a massive improvement compared to last season, isn't it? They're actually looking much, much better. In terms of cups, we got the Paul Dummy testimonial match. We sadly missed that one. No one informed me. They got knocked out by Millwall in the Carabao Cup 4th round. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And the FA Cup got knocked out by Burnley in the 3rd round. So no luck in the cups yet. They've won no silverware. I mean, that's a horrible end of season, isn't it? Liverpool, Tottenham, and Man City, if you final 3 games of the season, scoring 1 goal in all 3 of them. Shocking. But interestingly, I'm just trying to see that you've got big results. They lost to Man United 4-0, Arsenal 2-1. Was there any big results got this season? They beat Chelsea 1-0. So that's something. And then lost to Man City again, draw with Liverpool, losing to Spurs. So they're still really struggling at Newcastle right now. I mean, in terms of the actual team, we'll go over and have a look now how they're actually lining it up. So Maximus moved to the left-hand side now. Zaniolo's on his right-hand side, so that makes more sense. Brenger's actually playing a striker, oddly enough, supposedly. Don't know how often that is. Idrissa Gueye off. I mean, that's still the same. I mean, it's all the same pretty much like here, apart from the new keepers in net from last season. Let's have a look what they did last game of the season in terms of lining against Manchester City. It's exactly that still. We can see the poor average ratings though here, man, for these boys. Obviously, they got battered 2-1. If I say battered, got 1.2 fixture, they got some shots off and stuff. He's actually scoring goals as well as a striker, oddly enough. So, but a lot of the new boys are on the bench currently for Newcastle. So it could be interesting going into this next season, how these boys get on. As we go now, again, 1 year forward, 2024. Do you think Newcastle made top 6? I don't know. So we come back now, 2024 season, ending last season, the transfers do carry on over. So obviously we come in July 1st. So the transfers are made up until July 1st. And obviously there's a whole period between July 1st until the window shuts and then onwards into January. So I'm going to look first, what has changed since last time? We saw these 3 transfers last time out. Next up, Andrado Garnacho from Manchester United, 750k. Another youngster by the looks of it. So again, they are focused on some youth players now, which is good to see. In terms of this season, it made 3 appearances. Not really an active player yet, but one for the future, you'd imagine. Mario Vasovic came in from Hajduk Split. 48 million. Listen, a 22-year-old defender. I mean, he looks pretty good, don't you, really? You look at him defending stats in terms of, like, passing, decent tackling, not bad. I mean, there's nothing really bad about him, is there? He's a pretty good defender. Nothing amazing. 71k a week. I don't know if he's worth that much right now. But 48 million, made 32 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches. In terms of the actual like, defending, 0.95 tackling average ratio, good passing range as well. So he had a pretty good season, didn't he? Another new centre back as well. So I wonder if that means they don't go out the door. Zaniola left for Manchester United. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. So yeah, rest of the transfers first. Andre Onana's came in. They brought another keeper in. They've brought in Onana. They've got another keeper in as well. Mad enough. Onana came in, 35 million, played all season, 34 games, conceded 48, 7 clean sheets. It's not bad. Obviously, we'll see where they finish later on, but Onana now in, so that's 3 keepers that we know of for Newcastle United. And Richard Elise had a free transfer from Chelsea. He's just going to be a regen kid, possibly. Who knows? Who knows on that one? But yeah, departures. John Joe left on a free transfer to Berlin. Manquillo went to Al Sadd for 2.3 million, sorry, even. Miguel Almiron's gone out on loan for the season. He was a starter in the first season. Now he's gone out on loan in the third season, not enough. Henderson, who we saw, joined them here for St Mirren for 4.9 million. He's gone back out on loan to Rangers. And Zaniolo being the big one here, leaving the club already. Came for 62 million, left for 77 million. I wonder if there's a release clause in his contract, because there isn't much difference. Maybe he said it will come to Newcastle, but Champions League release, I don't know. But he had a good season as well. 6 goals, 8 assists, 3 player of the matches in that season at Newcastle before leaving for Manchester United. So Zaniolo's gone already. It's a bit of a shock. He's gone after 1 season, hasn't he? Gone already. But yeah, into the most recent ones then. Oh my God, they're spending more money again. Oh my days. Right. Straight away I'm looking here. Dest, Mukalele, they're both right backs. They're just ridiculous. Right. I say both right backs. They can both kind of play a few different positions. So Serginho Dest comes in. The young American comes in, formerly of Ajax, went to Barcelona for 19 million and comes to Newcastle for 29.5 million. Not played yet, obviously, because this is before the start of the season. 120k. Not bad, not bad. Samuel Ricky from Empoli, 22 years of age. They're going young now, aren't they? Which is nice to see. They are going much younger. Last season got 6 goals, 8 assists, 4 player of the matches. 42 million for centre midfielder. So more depth in centre midfield as well, which is interesting to see. Zinchenko, and he was at Ajax as well, oddly enough. So let's look at that first. He went from Man City to Ajax for 11 million. It comes back for 60 million. I'm here the microphone. Ignore that, everyone. I can't believe it. 60 million for Zinchenko. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely mental. But yeah, in comes Zinchenko. Welcome to the Tyneside. Interesting. 135k a week as well. Can't believe Man City sold him for that little in the first place. And then Nordi Mukalele comes in from Leipzig as well. As mentioned, another right back, pretty much. So whether or not how he's going to fit in the team, who knows. But he's always been pretty good at Leipzig. Very consistent. 57 million he comes in. So it's a very interesting look for the team now. I mean, let's have a look actually how they've actually done this season before we judge why they have so many different right backs. They dropped off. 13th. Okay. So Pep hasn't got any further yet, has he really? He's gone down a bit here, actually. Gone from 8th down to 13th. Not great. In terms of how they've done this season, like, have they won anything this season, finally? Carabao Cup. Oh, they beat Birmingham City. Why am Birmingham City? Shocking. Who would have thought Accrington to beat? They're going to have to have Southampton again. Southampton, the bogey team, by the looks of it. They beat Spurs, and then they got knocked out by Aston Villa in the replay. Shocking again. They just can't seem to get anywhere in these clubs, can they, Newcastle, right now? You see again here, losing big games end of the season. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City. I mean, them 4 back-to-backs horrendous as a fixture, isn't it, really? Just seeing again, anyone that have beaten big, like Tottenham in the FA Cup was quite a big game to win, really. Losing to Chelsea, I mean, they got them games all again in a row there, and they've lost them all. So you see what the problem in this season, really. They've had like these big teams back to back to back. Interestingly enough, they beat Inter Milan, they're friendly though, 3-1 this season. But yeah, it hasn't gone to plan again for Newcastle this season, and they've changed formation again. Okay. So the new boy Vasovic comes into that back 3 now with Duncan Dacona. Trippier and Omar Richards are actually the starters on the wing backs. And then they've bought, oh yeah, Willock's still around the team as well, oddly enough. We don't be playing this. Maximum playing up front with Thomas. Okay. I mean, I feel like they're lacking in a good striker. The Thomas is okay, but let's go for this Chelsea game here. How they line up this Chelsea fixture? This formation. Wilson up front with Thomas. Okay, but I mean, the both okay. Daniel obviously is leaving now, so he's dropped to that position here. But yeah, it's very interesting. They've changed now to a back 3 formation instead. Not something we've seen Pep do really before as well, interestingly enough. Very, very interesting. Right, enough of that. 2025 season, another season ahead. 2 more to go. Let's see how they do this time. So we come back then now. Season number 4 with Pep in charge. We mentioned some of these transfers prior. We're going out a little bit now. So Amari Hutchinson, 240k from Arsenal, joins the club. In terms of his actual past history, he came in, he's never played for Arsenal, never played for the first team. So, again, they're trying to get some good youth players in. They are trying to get youth players in. You can see a few younger ones here you might reckon. I mean, David Luiz is not a younger one. We'll get to that. Mark Gerardo, free transfer, 21 years of age. Where's he coming? Man United, free transfer. So, again, looking for youth. They are looking for youth players, as you're going to say. Mohamed Sickerman comes in from Leipzig. Bit more money for this boy. Another centre back though, 45 million, played 36 games this season, got a goal as well. Not bad, but again, reinforcing the defence, but obviously we can't see clearly, but he looks like some good numbers there. He could be pretty decent, honestly. So Sickerman comes in for him. Not a bad little acquisition of 45 million, but again, you see here, they've gone for another centre back. They've got a lot of centre backs at this club now, surely. They might have sold a few, I'll look in a second, but I mean, they've gone to Man City, 41 million. For Howard Bayliss, 23 appearances. I mean, in terms of actual defensive numbers, they're not bad. They're not bad. So reinforcing that defence once again, as this time they've gone a trip up north. Lewis Nilsson comes in from Kilmarnock, 22-year-old. So again, we mentioned prior, they are looking for some youth out there now. They're trying to get some younger players in to try and build for the future, which is interesting to see. Well, this is going to be an interesting one. Oh, it's not him. It's different David. It's a regen David Luiz. Okay. He plays centre midfield, this version does. Oh, I thought it was the David Luiz. David Luiz. Who calls it David Luiz? No, David Luiz. So yeah, new gen David Luiz comes in. Where did he come from? He came from Brazil, free transfer. I mean, we've got no idea what it looks like. Sadly, we can't really see him, but for that valuation, you'd imagine he's meant to be quite decent, hopefully, you'd imagine, wouldn't you? I mean, you see he's got a good first touch and he can't tackle. That's literally all we can see. So, whether or not he does well, we'll see in the future, hopefully. Hopefully we'll see. After Salzburg, 18.25 million for Mohamed Kamara. Marlane International, 25-year-old midfielder. So again, going for mid-more midfielders again. Came in for 18.25 million, made 13 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, good average rating. Looks fairly decent. Not a bad little one to get in there. And what else gone for them? They went to Brighton and Spurs. Again, I think they go for the younger ones, don't they? Bailey Smith, 20 years of age. We can't really see much there. And then Thomas Bloxham, again from Spurs, 20 years of age. Can't really see much there, really, can we? So, again, a lot of interesting ones. 294 million spent in the end. A lot of money. Right, we can't see them behind. You can see them just briefly behind my head here. But Jeff Hendrick has left on a free transfer. Alex Berenger's already left. How long was he even there? They paid 40 million for the guy. Had him for a season. Then they sold him to Shakhtar for 21.5 million. Oh, where's the logic in that move, really? I'm blown away. Honestly blown away. I'm completely off with that one. Henderson went back on loan to Rangers again. Dry Yearwood, who we saw previously, has gone to Watford. He's already left the club as well. Another one that's came in, 2.4 million, and they've sold him for 800k. They've seemed to spend a lot of money on absolutely nothing. They've sold Trincao, Willicks, they're all leaving. Everyone's leaving. Tador Dib. You can't see his name behind my head, but I mean, it's very long. This guy. One of their regions sold him to Burnley for 375k. We can't really see what it looks like, to be honest, but I mean, as a 6'6" striker, good jumping reach, good heading, possibly. I wish I kept him. Could have been new Andy Carroll. Bulgarian Andy Carroll. That's what we want to see, don't we? Joe Willock has left the club as well. He's gone to Wolverhampton Wanderers now. 12.75 million. I mean, it's again, it's another loss. It's another loss in revenue for him. And I mean, straight away, he's gone there. 26 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists. Probably one of his best seasons, bar this one. Straight away, he's gone to Wolves and absolutely smashing it. Oddly enough, he's absolutely smashing it there. Trincao, that's a really weird one. I mean, wasn't he? 27 million they paid for him, and he's left for Flaker for 23.5 already. Some of this transfer business is so weird. But again, they've not been playing him, and he goes to Athletic, and they're playing him every game, getting 5 goals, 2 assists. He's absolutely smashed it at Athletic this season. But Newcastle didn't even play him. Ryan Fraser gone out on loan to Hamburg. Lewis Binks has left the club already. Again, one who wasn't there very long, was he? 2.9, soft 3.2. So they made a bit of a profit on him. So at least they made a profit on him. Back to Italy for Lewis Binks. See you later, buddy. And now it's so confusing. So Omar Richards, who was starting last season for him, is now transfer listed. Went alone to Fulham last season, because they don't want him no more. So that one didn't last very long, did it? And Nana's gone already to Arsenal. It's absolutely mental. They came in 35 million. Played 2 seasons. Didn't do too badly. Maybe they made a profit, I guess, Arsenal. Newcastle made a profit. Get your teams right, mate. Get your teams right. Okay, here's the important thing then. Where they finished in the league, and did they do anything good? They finished 15th. And this isn't correct because it's updated already. So oddly enough, they're alphabetically 15th, and they finished 15th as well. I mean, by the looks of it, I don't think they won anything. Honestly, they didn't have a very good season again, did the Newcastle? Very poor. Carabao Cup, you can see they beat Blackburn. Got knocked out by Liverpool. I mean, that's understandable. Quarterfinals though, so it's an improvement. It is a slight improvement, and the FA Cup knocked out by Brighton as well. But look at that run here at the end of the season. From that Brighton game, they've won 2 games. Burnley and Aston Villa at the last time of the season. They lost all the rest and a draw against Blackburn and a draw against West Brom. He's not going well for Pep, is it? Yeah, he's not going well for Pep Guardiola at all at Newcastle. But I suppose it's his final season. I mean, it's not looking great, is it, for him, old Pepe? I mean, he's had an absolute shocker so far. He had one good season, finishing 8th for you, and it's just gone down and down. I mean, he could get relegated next season by the looks of it. Who knows? Let's go and have a look. Final season. Pep Guardiola at Newcastle. Here we go. Going into this final season with Newcastle, with Pep being at the helm, things haven't gone to plan at all so far in the save. And then finishing 16th last season, I was a little worried. Just wait to see the transfer business. It gets worse. It honestly gets worse. So here we go then. The final transfer window under Pep Guardiola. And you can see here, they brought Fred on a free transfer at age 33. They seem to have a thing about either going for really young players or players well past the peak, you'd imagine. He went to Cologne on a free transfer, played 2 seasons there, absolutely smashed it, and went to Newcastle. Interesting. How much they're paying him? I mean, that's not bad, 35k for Fred. Freddie, where's Joe? I'll give him that one. Jack Harrison comes in from Leeds twice, isn't he? Yeah? Jack Harrison, 23.5 million. I mean, his career since, well, he's been at Leeds the entire time, hasn't he, really? He's been pretty good this season, yeah. Oh, that's fair, Leeds in the Championship. It's no wonder. 41 games, 14 goals, 4 assists. I did wonder. That's really good. They're in there for 2 years. Oddly enough, Leeds been there for 2 years. Newcastle haven't under Pep, though, so that is what, well, I'm guessing not. It's also in the Premier League next season, so they haven't gone down, oddly enough. Stuart Dallas, another one. I mean, I'm guessing Leeds are still down there because they've sold both of them. Are they? Yeah, they're still in the Championship. Leeds took in the Championship once again. 3.8 million for Stuart Dallas. Seems like a pretty good deal. Oh, he's 35. I mean, okay. It's probably understandable. He's a 99. Oh, they don't learn. They don't learn, do they? You're paying 99k a week for a 35-year-old Stuart Dallas. Pep, come on. Come on, Pep. You're better than that. You're better than that. Dennis Zakaria comes at 58. I'm like, I don't think they realise you can get him for free at the end of the first season. I've been to Shakhtar for a couple of seasons, and then 58 million move then to Newcastle. I mean, he probably is pretty good still, but 115k for a squad player. It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Marko Dimitrovic from Seville, 2.9 million, age 34. I mean, they love old players, don't they? And they sold him already. I mean, that was a pointless one, wasn't it? We bought you in for 1 season, 2.9 million. You get 1 appearance. You can see the goals. You've been sold. I mean, we'll see him over here in a second, won't we? We'll see him over there in a second. Oh, we're not even get to that yet. We're not going to get to that bit. Robert Goodman. Who is this guy? Who is Robert Goodman? Polish international, supposedly. They didn't even know him. Went to Augsburg for a couple of seasons and Newcastle for 10.5 million. I mean, I can't imagine he's going to be a starter at right back, surely, with all the other options there. We've already seen about 20 right backs, and Stuart Dallas has just arrived at age 35, on almost 100k a week. So, you know, you never know. Santi, they actually bought him. Was he on loan the whole time? They bought him, okay. Yeah. They bought him this season. They actually bought him for 3 million. So he was on loan for a couple of seasons, went back to his parent club. Now he came back over to Newcastle, oddly enough. I mean, they must have liked him. Age 23 now, he's came back. I mean, he could be pretty good, to be fair. That was a fringe player, though, so I'm guessing he ain't done too much. I mean, he hasn't played much out on loan again straight away. I didn't want to loan for the first season, then they get him, actually sign him and loan him back out. Ridiculous. Brennan Johnson, Nottingham Forest, 17.25 million for this guy. He's already transfer listed already. Why is Newcastle buying people on transfer listing already? They paid 17.75 million for him. He made 15 appearances last season. He's already listed as a fringe player, 64k a week. I dread to see how much they're spending on actual wages. It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? Ridiculous. Liam Delap, Manchester City alumni. I say alumni. He's like, yeah, well, he is technically, I guess. 74k for a fringe player. They don't learn, do they? They do not learn. Played at Man City, barely made any minutes. Went to Newcastle, 27 appearances, 9 goals. So not a bad first season for him. Not bad, really, but I mean, he's definitely getting overpaid, 100%. We can see there's a few more big spenders on the way down here. So we go to the next one. Lookman is back in England again. He's been back and forth from Germany. I don't know how many times now. Fringe player, 70k. Of course he is. Of course he is. Went to Leicester. Then went an exchange deal, oddly enough, to Dortmund. I wonder who Leicester got the other way. Oddly enough, don't know. So he went to Dortmund for 2 years. And then he's came back to England now. 15.75 million. Made 14 appearances, got 2 goals. So not bad for Lookman at all, really. Interesting. Some of the players they've brought in are quite interesting, though. Daniel Blažić from Dynamo, 3.7 million. Another right back, of course, another right back, because Newcastle just love right backs. We've discovered this season. Well, this video even. Love right backs. Emil Holberg, age 30, comes in as well. 73k a week for a squad player, of course. £12 million. Bargain. Did you say bargain? He's 30. I mean, he can still do a job, can't he? He looks pretty good, what you can see there. Not bad at all, that one then. I'll let him off. I mean, the money for his wages is a bit ridiculous. Niall Molina from Brighton. 28-year-old. Another right back. So yeah, another right back comes in for Newcastle. I mean, it's not really a surprise at this point. 100k a week. 100k a week. And has he been playing? 29 games. Made 3 assists. You'd imagine this is why we've seen about Trippier leaving, honestly, because they bought this guy instead. And then Stephen Richardson. Just another regen boy. Another new gen regen. Hasn't made any minutes yet for Newcastle. Let's go to the sales show. Let's go to the sales. So, on the other end of things, straight away, you can see straight away, there's 3 freebies actually. Henderson's gone to the Rangers again on loan. He's been there non-stop, I think, this whole thing. Charlie Wiggett's gone to Scunthorpe on a free transfer. Idrissa Gueye went to Zenit St. Petersburg. You can't see his bottom of my head, but you can believe me. Trippier went to Virgo on a free transfer. Oddly enough, he's now getting 13.75k a week back in Spain. What? He's done? Okay, he's moved already. He went to Montpellier. That didn't last very long, did it? I've moved the same season. 115k. Bargain. Absolute bargain. Lewis Nelson's gone on loan to Celtic. Go through the bigger ones. Omar Richards moved to Brighton, oddly enough. Didn't last long, did he again? Newcastle went on loan to Fulham, and now a 5 million move. He's out the door already. See you later, Omar. And Lewis Dunk. Who remembers Lewis Dunk and his famous transfer to Newcastle United for 70 million? £55,000 to Reading. Age 34. 55, he's still on 34k a week. Fair play. He's made an absolute killing for himself, hasn't he? Come out of this. Santiago Munez, as we mentioned, Price gone out on loan. David Luiz, the regen we saw earlier on, is really highly valued now, but he's gone out on loan again this season. Not really played though, has he? Hasn't really played. 7 appearances, 2 assists. Guess we won't see how he does. And the final one, that keeper the boy we mentioned prior, came in, sold him. Didn't last at all, did he? Didn't last at all. So it's been an interesting one. It's been a lot of interesting transfer business. I mean, we're going to do the maths in a second and work out how much they've actually spent over these 5 years with Pep and how much they've actually made in sales going out the club. We'll give the full maths on the screen in a second. But first, we need to say, did they do it? Did they win the Prep? No? I mean, they finished 7th. It's an improvement. Credit where it's due to Pep. He did something. Made him look a bit better towards the end of it. He did something decent at the very end, didn't they? I mean, in terms of the actual season, they beat Leeds here, they beat Birmingham again in the Carabao Cup, so that's a good little run. Beat Sheffield, lost to Leicester, so they went out of that. FA Cup, lost to Bournemouth, so they've not won any trophies at all. Oddly enough, my Birmingham City in the Premier League, so I'm happy with that as an ending, really. I'm happy with that as an ending. Right, we're going to go over now and go through the actual maths and break down how it all happened. So we're 5 seasons done then. Pep Guardiola at Newcastle is over. So now is the big question. How much did Pep spend over those 5 years? And how much did he make actually on transfer sales? We're going to go a bit of a deep dive now into it. Going with season number 1, the 21-22 season. Pep Guardiola spent a total of 316 million that first season, making a total of 13.75 million in transfer sales. A massive spend of over 100 million in that first transfer window alone, which then led to season number 2, 22-23 season. He spent 49 million, the smallest amount so far. It's the smallest of the whole video. Just be warned by that. But in total, he made 22 million in sales that season. So he made a bit of money in sales that season, a lot more than the previous season. So it's a slow incline, But then 23-24 came around, and Pep Guardiola spent a total of 152 million on some massive names. Obviously, that first season, the biggest one, Lewis Dunk, of course. We love you, Lewis. But yeah, 23-24 season, Pep made a total of 80 million in sales that season. So he didn't do too bad that season, I don't think, personally. He made 80 million in sales, and he spent 152 million. So it's not as bad, really, spending-wise, think about it long-term-wise. So 24-25 came around, and this time Pep went all out. After that prior season, he spent double it almost. 294 million Pep spent on that Newcastle team for that season. A season where they didn't even finish in the top 10. Disappointingly, they didn't finish top 10, but they made 107 million sales that season. So it's a massive increase in what they've made sales-wise. The first time they've reached over 100 million in player sales, which then led to the final season, which we just saw, where they spent a total of 207 million in that 25-26 season, and only making a sale of 10 million that whole season. Interesting. So let's go through the full numbers then. So over those 5 seasons, Pep Guardiola spent a total of £1,018 million in total over those 5 seasons. £1 billion spent in 5 seasons and didn't even win a trophy. How did he even keep the job? Honestly, I don't know how he even kept the job. But yeah, total outgoings over those 5 seasons, they made a complete sale of 232,750,000. So they didn't do too bad, really, considering the players they had there. Making 230 million in player sales in them 5 seasons is not bad. But when you think of it, 1 billion, around a quarter. Let's get the exact number for you. So the total combined spend minus the transfer sales have happened for Newcastle United in this period, in this 5-year season. 785,250,000. So that is the figure when you take away the sales from the overall spend over the time. So in total, they have spent 785,250,000 when you exclude the sales. It's absolutely bonkers. And the fact they didn't win nothing, they never had a really good season, 8th being the highest position they finished in those 5 years with Pep Guardiola in charge. Absolutely mental. But for now, that is it. If you think that's bonkers, let me know in the comments down below. What was the most ridiculous transfer in that whole 5-year saga as Pep managed Newcastle? And as always, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Plenty more of the experiments to come along on the channel, plus much more, and our Let's Play with Grassroots of Glory. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you again soon.